This is a system of equations that we need to solve. It's giving us two equations that are both in standard forms, like something times x and something times y equals a number. When you've got two standard form equations, there's a strategy we like to use called elimination. And it's called that because you try to eliminate one of the variables. The trick for this is that you're allowed to add two equations to each other to get a new equation. So I'll give you a little warning. We're going to try this. It's not quite going to work. We can do 2x plus 4x to get 6x, negative 5y plus 2y to get negative 3y, and 7 and negative 22 add to make negative 15, I think. That's fine. This is a new true equation, but it didn't help us because nothing got eliminated. So in order to do elimination properly, we need to do another step first. And what step you do first depends a little bit on the kind of problem you get, but you're going to learn how to sort of identify what you need to do. In this case, what we want to do is multiply either none of the equations. Well, we tried that and that didn't work. We need to multiply either one or both of these equations in order to make something cancel. If we want to make the x's cancel, can you think of anything that you can multiply 2 by to get 4? I can. 2 times 2 is 4. That's pretty nice. Sometimes you try this and it doesn't work. Like if we had tried the y's, can you multiply 2 by anything to get 5? Not really. 2.5, but it's kind of gross. So in this case, let's try to make the x's match by multiplying this top equation by 2. And it might feel weird to just take a whole equation and multiply it by a number because we just picked 2. Like there's no reason we can do that, right? Well, actually, you can do anything you want to an equation as long as you do the same thing to the left side and the right side. So we're going to do that. We're going to take this top equation and we're just going to rewrite it. So we're going to do 2 times 2 becomes 4x, 2 and negative 5, it becomes negative 10y, and 2 times 7 becomes 14. So notice, because we multiplied the left side and the right side, this new equation actually means the same thing as the old one. It just looks a little different. This bottom equation now, because we want the x's to match, we don't need to do anything to this one. I'm just going to rewrite it the exact same way. So 4x plus 2y equals negative 22. Great. Now we're going to try the same thing as before. If we added this equation and this equation, man, we've got those 4's that match, but 4 plus 4 still doesn't cancel. That would just give us 8x. So let's try subtracting. Let's subtract these two equations. So we're literally going to do the entire top equation minus the entire bottom equation. And when you do that, let's see, 4x minus 4x, well, that's just 0x. That's good. Something got eliminated. That's what we wanted. Negative 10 minus 2 is negative 12y. Those pluses and minuses can be tricky, so keep in mind it's a negative minus a positive. Negative 10 minus 2 is negative 12. And then over here, positive 14 minus negative 22. Minus negative is the same as plus. So this is 14 plus 22, which is 36. All right. This 0x, well, 0 times anything is just 0. We really don't need to include this. We can just think of this as negative 12y because it's the same thing. Well, now we know how to solve this. Divide by negative 12, divide by negative 12, and you get y equals negative 3. Hey, that's not bad. Y equals negative 3. That's not the final solution to this problem, though, because when it asks you to solve, it's really asking you to find a coordinate point, x comma y. Right now, we only have the y. So we know the y is negative 3, but we still need the x. In order to get the x, you just got to plug this y back into one of the original equations. So you can do, actually, you've got 4 options. This equation, this equation, this equation, this equation. You pick any one of them and plug that y back in. I kind of like small numbers, so maybe we do this light pink equation. Let's just take the light pink one and rewrite it 2x minus 5, but then instead of y, let's plug in negative 3. And then we keep going, equals 7. And now it's just a solving process. Okay, 2x stays the same. Negative 5 times negative 3, negative times negative makes plus 15, equals 7. Minus 15 from both sides. 2x equals, that would be negative 8. So we divide by 2, and get x equals negative 4. Put a box around that. That is our x value. That goes over here. And now we actually do have a solution. This point, 4 comma negative 3, is where our two original lines cross.